All right, what's up, quarantine kiddos? Here, I got your first assignment that we'll put on here. What you want to do is you want to go back to our game of Capture the Flag, and then also make sure that you're reading through some of the sections that maybe you didn't for when we worked on our presentation. So you've got an overall idea of what's going on. Um, so I'm just going to go through the directions here and just kind of give you some ideas of what you need to do. So the first thing you want to do is create a simile, right? A simile is kind of a figure of speech comparing one thing to another to make it more vivid. So you're going to make this comparison like our Capture the Flag game to the Revolutionary War. But I'll talk a little bit more about that here in just a second. You want to create a simile that shows how the Americans were able to beat the British and win the war for independence. So there's going to be multiple things that you want to use, multiple examples from throughout the chapter to make that happen. So here's the first step. Complete this sentence. The Continental Army's victory in the American Revolution was like, and then you can look at some of the examples to complete the sentence, or really you could even come up with your own and create your own. So it would be like the Continental Army victory in the American Revolution was like a class game of Capture the Flag, which is exactly what we did. Or the Continental Army's victory in the American Revolution was like David's victory over Goliath. Or you could say the Army's victory in the American Revolution was like the story of the tortoise and the hare. Or the last one, the Continental Army's victory in the American Revolution was like a recent sports upset. So if one of those works for you, I would highly recommend that you use it. If you can come up with another one, that's just fine. So here's what you got to do with that information. Create a drawing of your simile. So if you choose one of these, your drawing needs to be related to that. If you use a different one, again, your drawing should relate to whatever one you decide to come up with. So use a clever visual details that connect your simile to the Continental Army's victory in the American Revolution. So that there has to be this element of kind of the underdog overtaking the favorite, right? So think of it in that sense and get clever with it and use those visual details that connect those things together. The third step, below your drawing, write two because statements to explain why your simile is like the Continental Army's victory in the American Revolution, right? You know that we always want to have that extra piece that tells us why this picture shows how the Continental Army was able to overtake the British in the American Revolution. So again, you want to make sure you've got that explanation of how is this picture similar in because statements to the Continental Army's victory in the American Revolution. As always, if you got any questions for me, shoot me a private comment on Google Classroom or just shoot me an email, and I'm glad to answer any questions that I can. All right, guys, hang in there, and hopefully we will see you soon.